Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. My name is Tori Solis and today I'm going to be doing a quick series review of some work that I made this week with some speckled clay. It's actually the end of May as I'm recording this. My videos are scheduled really far out right now because I have a ton of content that I've been creating. So if you want to stay with me in real time and get early access to everything, because I don't even know if any of these are going to be available by the time this video comes out, you can join my Patreon and you can gain early access to everything and first dibs on all my artwork at patreon.com/BlueNoseTrading. So let's get into the series review. I made most of this stuff using, well, all of this stuff that's here, I used Trinity Spectacular Clay. It's fired to cone 6 oxidation, and I used a lot of the glaze. Well, I made all of these glazes, but they're not my recipe. So I made 5 mugs. They're all made using Field Mouse Brown and Carmen's Turquoise on the outside. At my website, BlueNoseTrading.com, I share all the recipes for the glazes that I'm using, as well as samples of some test tiles. So all that information is available on my blog, on my website. So these 3 are all kind of different sizes. They've got crater texture carved into them, and that's painted with Carmen's Turquoise. And then the inside is a waxwing brown, which is one of my favorite colors, and these all turned out pretty splendid. I've sanded the handles and sanded the bottoms so they're all super smooth. So really enjoy how these turned out. It's really good to be making mugs that I like, and I'm still working it out, but I've kind of found shape that I like, and I'm really just working on the handles at this point. This one and this one are both made using a seafoam. I don't know why my seafoam came out so great. I followed the recipe and I just got lucky, and I'm hoping that it repeats when I go to make seafoam later. So this one had a small accident. It was my fault. It's a bonsai planter, but when it was in the kiln, I had another pot just like this one sitting inside of it, and I didn't realize, but I knocked it to where the edges were touching. So I had to break the pot that was inside of this one, and then this one's got a little ding here, and I sanded it all down and sanded down the bottom. So it's a second because it kind of got dinged up a little, but it's still really functional, and it's a bonsai planter, so it'll be fine. And this one, I did a different kind of carving texture. I was using a finer point diamond core tool and making like spikes. I honestly don't love this texture as much as the smooth cratered texture that I've been making with a loop tool. That's probably my favorite texture to make right now. These 2 glazes are both that Trinity Spectacular, and then the glaze is called Peacock Green out of John Britt's book, Mastering Cone 6 Glazes. Again, I post all the recipes that I'm using as well as a variety of test tiles on my blog at BlueNoseTrading.com, so you can always find what I'm using if you want to try it out yourself. So this is Peacock Green, a crater texture, and it's a bonsai planter. And then this is just a regular planter. It's a regular planter and not a bonsai planter because it doesn't have the additional holes, and the additional holes are there so that you can tie in trees into tiny pots. So that's how I make the distinction, other than some style differences, but I mean, you can put a bonsai tree in any old pot. So this is, again, that Peacock Green. I use a big loop tool to make these nice smooth divots and then put the glaze in there. Got a few odds and ends. There are going to be 2, a regular planter, bonsai planter pair, and the one that I broke earlier was the regular planter pair of the Carmen's Turquoise crater pot to this one. So there was going to be a matching, but it broke because I made some mistakes. So that's those. These 2 are a little odd men out, a couple more bonsai planters. This is the Chameleon number 2. I really liked it on the test tile for this clay. It kind of reminds me of something between cheetah print and a kiwi. Like, it's not quite yellow, but it's not quite green enough. But I still think it's pretty nice nonetheless. And then this one is just Old Forge Sunset, which is just a winner. It really pairs well with other glazes, but I wanted to run a lot of test tiles mixing before I committed to something, and it looks really nice just on its own. So this is the Old Forge Sunset onto a pretty large bonsai planter. So that's a short series review today. I just made a kiln load 25-pound bag, not the whole 25-pound bag. We had a few casualties along the journey, like you do. So yeah, thank you for tuning in this week, guys. If you'd like to stay up to date and in real time with me on my ceramic journey, you can find me at patreon.com/bluenosetrading. If you'd like to just see a weekly art video with no real relevance to my real life timeline, subscribe to my channel, Blue Nose Trading, and I will see you guys next week with another art video.